Assalamu alaikum. In my last video, I discussed the discrete random variable and I discussed some properties of discrete random variable. Here is I am with you now with a continuous random variable. There are two, I told when I defined random variable, I told there are two types of random variables. One will be discrete and one is continuous. Discrete, as the word says, discrete. Discrete means separate, separate. Continuous, as the word says, continuous. Continuous means there is a continuity. So I have written like this: when a random variable x is so defined that its point values cannot be separated or identified, it is called a continuous random variable. You will understand the meaning of cannot be separated or cannot be identified just in 1 minute. For example, if x takes values 4, 12, 13, 5, 9, 15, these all values we can find out, we can identify. What mean by identify? If I ask what is the fourth value, so you will say 5. If I say what is the sixth value, you will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values this. These all values are separate, separate, and all values can be identified easily. It has clear point values. They are called point values. At first point 4, at second point 1. They are called point values. But if x is defined as it takes 500 values or 50 values or 100 values from the interval a to b. In this interval, this suppose here a and here b. In this small interval, we have 500 values. All values are so near. We cannot say which one is third value and which one is fourth value. It is difficult to identify how much value, which one is fourth, which one is fifth, which one is 5. So these points values are so entangled. Entangled means though they are so near, they are so entangled that cannot be separated. So in such situations, this x is called a continuous random variable. In the interval a b, whenever we will say continuous random variable, this interval will go together. Where is continuous variable? It is in this interval. It is continuous in this interval. Out of this interval may be continuous, may not be continuous, but in this interval it is continuous. Okay. See the notes. If x is a discrete random variable, we can find probabilities for its all different values using px. Probability for x equal 4, probability x equal 12, we can calculate. But if x is a continuous random variable, we cannot find the probabilities for point values of x, because we don't know point, so how we can find the point values? We can only find the probability for an interval. What is the probability within this interval? We can only find this. We cannot find particular values. The function, here one more thing comes. The function which provides such probabilities is called probability density function. This is the term, very important term, PDF, denoted by fx. And if we get point values, it is called probability mass function, I discussed in last video. If we cannot find the point values and we can only find the probabilities for a certain interval, that function which will help us in finding that value, that is called probability density function. Actually, the purpose behind